Girl, I'm about to have a panic attack. I did the work, it didn't work. That truly hurts, that feeling hurts. That lovey-dovey shit was nonsense. I'm dealing with my friends. I don't wanna marry y'all. I'm in my bed, I'm looking trying to be alone. On the other hand, I know my worth. And now he calling me, but I feel like this just happened to me. Oh, am I ready? Am I ready? Figure it out to love, to love. Am I ready? How am I supposed to love somebody else? I'm not a man myself. Ooh, yes, I better learn to like this. Ooh, if I take my whole life just for you. He called me Mary. He squeezed my belly. I'm feeling married. To say I love the girl, is this my food? That's why I'm asking you, 'cause you know I've been through. Am I ready? Am I ready? To be loved, to be loved. Am I ready? Cause I want it. Am I ready? To be loved, to be loved. Let me know. You found me, I'm stand up with the fantasy. What you wanna do? Think I'm ready. Ooh, think you like that, think you like that. When I grab back like that, let me know. Yesterday I was happy, I don't know why. I don't know why. Know why. Yesterday I would have walked away, and I don't know why. I don't know why. But ready. What's going on, Consciouz Crew? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. Girl, I am sitting here getting my whole life. This is one of my favorite Lizzo records. It literally gives me like tingles and butterflies. It is such a freeing, happy-go-lucky, yet introspective. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly ass type of a song. And it just gets me in my feels. And I am obsessed with her performances for this song. You guys know she performed this single at the last VMAs, girl. Lizzo was singing her motherfucking ass off. 'Cause I'm ready. I mean, she was giving you that bravado, girl. Turn up her throat. I was just here for it. I think she also performed on Good Morning America, girl. And it's just, I don't know. It's something so nostalgic and just very freeing and very innocent about this track. It just does that to me. Like every time I'm getting dressed and getting ready to go out into the city, this is definitely one of my get ready situations. Okay. But Lizzo is also a part of the docket for today. So before we even get into this discussion, girl, go ahead and thumbs up the video. You already know that thumbing up helps with YouTube's algorithm. But more importantly, it triggers up the notification system so that all the other unsuspecting Consciouz Crew members who have no idea they're real live, despite having their notification set to all,
can be notified. So you thumbing up the video is a personal invitation out to the rest of the Consciouz Crew members, baby, to get their ass up in here for this commentary. Also, shout out to all of the new subbies, girl. I told y'all that 43.3, 43.4 situation it's gonna be twerking, girl, the next few weeks, girl, because I've been blocking motherfuckers like left and right, girl. Okay, and that's the way I want it. Period. Okay, but shout out to all of the new subbies. Also, make sure that you have YouTube's tired ass notification system set to all, because hell, something is better than nothing. Goddamn it. Okay, and no matter where you have digital community at, girl, make sure you slap the link and share it out to let them whores know that we're out live and in color, and to introduce them and induct them into the kingdom, girls. So whether that be your YouTube community wall, whether that be Facebook, MySpace, Tumblr, the dark side of Twitter, your personal OF, or hell, the comment section of the ops, bitch. Drop it over there and let them whores know as well, girl. We're out live and in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on. I don't even have my intro queued up. Push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you guys. We are back. I'm surprised y'all be asking questions that literally, the answers to them are so repetitious, because I literally say it and plaster it in every single live stream. Here is the link to my Patreon. It's always in the scroll or the ticker below. Okay, and I always tell y'all, everything is always listed in the description box of every single video. So you'll always find the emails, always find Patreon, always find everything there. Every time I say it, every day, every live stream, it's a part of my intro script. Y'all still be like, what a Patreon link? But I just posted the Patreon link. I think it was my boo St. Marquise who was asking for it, I think. How doing? Who was asking for Miss Patreon, girl? Who was doing it? Somebody was asking. I don't even see the comment no more. It's somewhere. So that's the link, you guys. All right. So hey, everybody, what's going on, girl? Hope you guys are having a wonderful hump day. Let me scroll up. What's going on here? Her TV. What's going on, boo? You guys make sure to subscribe to Hear Her TV. She is a wonderful content creator, girl. She gets into all the YouTube news, girl. Gets into all the teams and everything, girl. Okay. She's heavy also on the GWORL Let content, etc. So make sure that you guys give her a like and a subscription, and let her know that the king sent you, baby. What's going on here, her? Hey, Ashley. Hey, Shayla. What's going on, Lady D? Hey, Media New Post. What's going on, Starlet? What's going on? I am Nicole Marie. Hey, boo. What's going on, Isha? Hi, Jockey. What's going on, MP Naturals? What's going on? Yes, St. Marquise. Hey, boo. What's going on, Anta? Hey, boo, and thank you so much for your donation, love. I did get your donation. I don't know if you had caught your shout out, but thank you so much for your donation, boo. God bless you. What's going on, Ian Gardner? Hey, Jessica. Hey, Miss Attorney, honey. Thinking she that girl. Thinking that she better than us, girl, because she got on that gown, boo. Do it up, honey. What's going on, Shauna? Hey, everybody. What's going on, Kiara? Hey, Shacky Speaks Easy. Hey, boo. Hey, Miss Williams. Hi. What's going on, Kiwana? Hey, Ashley. I feel like we got a lot of Ashleys. It's a few Ashleys, I think. What's going on, Diesel Moore? Hey, Bo. What's going on, Sanika? Hi, Cynthia. What's going on, Afro Beat Neek? Period. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, boo. Tamika. Hey, y'all. All right, so we got to get into some things, y'all. Shout out to all of the contributors and donators, etc. My phone been on a heavy dead the past few days, because you guys know it was Memorial Day weekend and it was just a lot of activity. I had some people fly in. And you know, we were scooting and booting, girl, and getting into some things. So I didn't have a lot of time to keep my phone supercharged. So when I did have a charge, I was on live. So thank you to everybody who have been contributing and showing your boy some love on Cash App and PayPal, girl. Thank you so much. I love you long time, okay? You keep the kingdom going. What's going on, Lusciously LA 310? Hey, boo. What's going on, Heather? Hi. What's going on, Ann Hugh? Hey, Sharon. Hey, Teresa. Hey, boo. So thank you all. So we got some things to get into, girl. I feel like there is a lot going on in the news cycle, girl. It's like the news cycle is cycling, baby. Like it is totally infinite at this point, child. There is no shot of Hollyweird news, girl. Also, we're under a retrograde. It's Pluto's retrograde, girl. Now, this isn't going to be a retrograde from hell because Pluto is traversing backwards through the zodiac, okay? Pluto is more like covert and kind of deal with the underbelly of things. Its work is kind of behind the curtain. So it's not as catastrophic and obvious as a Mercury's retrograde, which really affects like the surface of our lives. You either will be like getting blessed down. I'm talking about like finding $100 bills and old ass jeans she was twerking in 1991. You'll get a raise on your job. You'll get an upgrade somewhere. You'll get blessings galore, or it's a time to reap that karma because you're gonna get bald-headed hoe shit doing a retrograde. So, you know, shit will start falling apart. Refrigerators are breaking down. Things that you could have taken care of and been more meticulous about months ago will come crashing down and burden you. It may be a time where your interpersonal relationships fall apart. There's a lot of arguing, a lot of contention, or hell, there's heavy love making. Retrograde is not necessarily, Mercury's retrograde is not necessarily a bad thing. It's more so like, it's like tax season, okay? Whatever you put into the system is what you want to get out of the system, okay? So depending on whether you've been naughty or nice will depend upon what Santa leaves, aka Mercury retrograde, leaves under your tree. But Pluto, you know, once again, it deals in the background of things. So we are undergoing a Pluto retrograde, girl. So we got to go in. Okay, we got to go in. Yes. Things are cranking up. Now, speaking of Lizzo, you guys know, has been fighting off fat phobia and body shaming basically since the beginning of her career in 2016. She initially came into pop culture, into the musical scene, really on a body positive type of a message. She wasn't afraid to show her fatness. She wasn't afraid to be in a leotard. She wasn't afraid, you know, to let it all hang out, etc. She really wanted to represent for the big girls and for people who had body types that were not conventional or were not appreciated and aligned and according to the status quo. Thank you so much, Kiwana, who says, how doing? Got an old nasty piece of cash out, girl. You know, y'all always doing, before I even get deep off into shit, girl. Y'all be throwing them bands, girl. How doing? Just for being you, boo. Thank you, Kiwana. I love you, baby mama. So, you know, she came in heavy. She came in swinging. And it had mixed reviews. Of course, for those who are progressive and we are the world, we are the children, they were really here for it. And then other people pushed against it, made really nasty insults toward Lizzo. You know, they ripped her apart, ripped her body apart. They also felt like her message was counterproductive, especially in a post-obesity America where America is really trying, in some ways, trying to stave off the fast food industry and the obesity numbers and the numbers around high cholesterol and high blood and everything else is like at an all-time high, especially amongst minority groups, particularly Black folk who live amongst a lot of food deserts already. So It's been a lot. So throughout Lizzo's career, she's been like swinging and banging and having to have this conversation. You guys know she's had multiple meltdowns throughout the years where she really got fed up and she really felt the way. And she recently, you guys know, also went on a health journey, working out. She cut fast food out of her life, got into the gym, which is why she has so much stamina. And she's able to twerk and play a flute and run around and do choreography. She's clearly in great shape despite what her body type is. Okay. Recently, like as in today or yesterday, girl, Lizzo woke up. She wasn't here for it, and she wanted to address the bullshit because she feels when she wakes up, she's always waking up to some bullshit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what Miss Lizzo got going on, girl. Let me share my screen here real quick. Boom, pow. Okay, and this article that I'm about to read is courtesy of Billboard.com. Okay, and it says that Lizzo says that body shaming trolls are really starting to make me hate the world. I'm tired of explaining myself all the time, wrote the singer, said songwriter. In case you forgot how absurd the amount of hate the plus size women get for simply existing is, Lizzo just went off in a series of tweets about becoming the target of recent viral posts, prompting a dog pile of fat-phobic body shaming comments. On Wednesday, May 31st, Lizzo shared a screenshot of a vitriolic tweet in which a user shared a video of the Grammy-winning dancing on stage and the Grammy winner dancing on stage and mocked her for being fat and wrote, quote, I just logged on and the app, okay, I think this article is got like, it was written too fast, girl. I just logged on and the app and this, I just logged on the app and this is the type of shit I see about me on a daily basis. Quote, it's really starting to make me hate the world, the musician continued. Then someone in the comments said, I eat lots of fast food. I literally stopped eating fast food years ago. I'm tired of explaining myself all the time, and I just want to get on this app without seeing my name in some bull-ish. In subsequent tweets, she wrote, the love definitely do not outweigh the hate on social media, all because I'm fat, and y'all don't know how close I be to giving up on everyone and quitting and enjoying my money and my man on a freaking farm. The About Damn Time singer has been transparent about the amount of fat shaming she received on social media, which she said just last week has only increased in recent months. To combat the negativity, she's mostly kept her Twitter lockdown on private, but that clearly hasn't stopped bullies from appearing on her feed or in her mentions. Quote, I literally never search my name. This stuff just comes up on my timeline and my FYP. It's wild. The star also tweeted Wednesday, I swear I just want to look at dance videos and science news, and this ish comes in every day. A couple of weeks prior, Lizzo had leveled with fans on TikTok about how a lot of people assume that she works out and eats healthy merely to lose weight or escape fatness, as she put it. Quote, as I got more professional in my career, I started to take the physical part more seriously, she explained in the May 15 video. Quote, I've always loved moving my body and always loved working out. I think a lot of people see a fat person that way and immediately just assume that everything they are doing is trying to be thin, she added at the time. I'm not trying to be thin. I don't ever want to be thin. The Yiddy founder echoed these sentiments in a follow-up tweet on Wednesday. Quote, I'm not trying to be fat. I'm not trying to be smaller. I'm literally just trying to live and be healthy, she shared. This is what my body looks like even when I'm eating super clean and working out. She added, quote, y'all speak on ish y'all know nothing about, and I'm starting to get heated. Okay? So Lizzo is getting fed up, girl. Okay, she's struggling, girl. It's impacting her motivation to stay in the public eye and to continue her career. She, just is getting exhausted with the bombardment of negative feedback online. Thank you so much, Lauren, who says, hi, Conscious. Appreciate you, boo. I appreciate you, too. Love you, baby mama. God bless you. Thank you so much, Lauren. Let me read the comments before I go a little bit further. Jennifer Sharp says, it's about damn time, no pun intended, that Lizzo start cussing these mucks out. I'm exhausted for her. Ashley says, people are just sad with themselves. Starlight says, at this point, Lizzo needs to ignore these ignorant comments. She's winning and she needs to understand that. Goddess says, they literally stalk her page. If she posts any clips from her concerts or to promote her underwear line, they drag her. So sad. Kiwana says, everybody ain't built to be thin either. Shaki says, the sad part is that half the folks that are shaming her look just like her or bigger. Folks are fickle as F. People hate themselves and project that hatred onto others. My goodness, today. Learning to love myself says, I think Lizzo is beautiful. Why should she hate the body she's in? Just trying to reach a weight that is healthy for her. So I was reading, I tried to find the blog that I initially woke up to that was speaking about and reposting Lizzo's tweets, and people have some interesting things to say under the comment section. Folk were saying, you know, she speaks all the time about confidence and high self-esteem and, you know, being high functioning and self-love, but yet she's always on her Cardi B-ish as it relates to like clapping back. She's always explaining herself. She's always like addressing the negativity. And as you guys heard, one of her tweets, she says that the love doesn't outweigh the hate. So people are just like, where is this self-esteem? Where is this self-esteem? And then people were bringing up people like DJ Khaled, who also gets dragged for being big, etc. But he takes it on the chin. People were also saying Rick Ross always gets dragged, etc. For his titties, and you know he's always shirtless, etc. And he's always the butterfat jokes, etc. But he takes it on the chin, etc. And people were making a comparison between like these other individuals and Lizzo, and people feel even more warped when it comes to Lizzo because they feel that Lizzo puts it in everybody's face. It's like people feel she goes out of her way to put her ass cheeks, to put her body in everybody's face, etc. So it's going to be met with all type of opinions, etc. I remember a year or two ago, the whole controversy when she was at like a soccer game or a football game. She had like on assless chaps, and people were like really outraged because it was like young people there and children there, and they just felt like it was an inappropriate time and place, and it was clearly like performative and her just like looking for attention. And then when she gets it and she gets the attention she don't want, then she goes on a crime binge, etc. And all of this and all of this and all of this and all of this. Yeah, a basketball game. So here is the thing here. At some point, okay, so here's the thing, right? I'm in social media space as well, okay? Anytime you are a visible figure, a public figure of any kind, you're going to be subjected to every opinion, the good, the bad, and the goddamn ugly. And unfortunately, there is no way to regulate that or to filter that. It just is something that comes with being before people. And people will critique you on your beliefs. They'll critique you on your politics. They'll critique you on your looks, on your appearance. I mean, you know, people will do all of that. And for every one of those people, there will also be people who are going to compliment you on your appearance and compliment you on your politics and compliment you on whatever. I don't think it's necessarily right to just like harass and just menace people just for the hell of it, just because you can get up under their comments, just because you can pull up on a video or pull up on a content, etc., and just start going in on people. I'm of the opinion to, like, if you don't like it, just turn the goddamn channel, or at the least give your opinion outside of that person's personal proximity and try to have an informed opinion, not just like hating for the hell of it. But if if what you don't like has some substance behind it, then it's whatever. But Lizzo is gonna have to Beyonce this shit at this point. Beyonce chose not to cry, even when she was being accused of sacrificing Aaliyah, even when her daughter was being dragged, even when her husband was being dragged, even when her daddy was being dragged, even when her mama was being dragged, even when her marriage was being dragged, even when her dynamics with Destiny's Child was being dragged. I mean, Beyonce has been dragged in every which way and fucking direction one can damn be dragged. And what Beyonce said she does to avoid getting in her feelings and cussing these hoes out is she don't watch. She just does her job. She stays connected to her passion when it comes to music and art. And then she takes her ass home. She don't go online. She don't even look at the compliments. She don't look at the comments at all. That comes with the sacrifice of not looking. You know, she don't look at the good either, because amongst the good is the bad as well. Okay? So she just goes home. I mean, she do what she do, and she goes home. She don't look at no reviews. She don't look at no critics. She don't look at no YouTube. She don't do none of that. She just stays away from it, and that is what has led her to being able to like sustain her mental health and to stay out of these comment sections and to stay from swinging and banging, etc. Is she just has to not look. I took one out of her page in recent years. I was like, oh, okay, this is some great feedback, right? Like, if you want to continue to enjoy doing YouTube and you want to continue to stay happy on these platforms, you have to train yourself to just not look. Don't look. Don't look. Just do you. Do you. Stay in your lane. Do what you do best and stay focused. And yes, also know that, of course, there are haters, etc. But if you know you got something in you that likes to fight back and swing back, the only way to really curb that is to personally overcome your damn ego and also just not look, so that your ego don't have no content to feed from. It don't have no temptation, because you can't address what you don't know. You can't address what you ain't aware of. Now, Lizzo says that, I don't know if I believe Lizzo when she says, you know, I just want to watch science videos, but I wake up to ABC different. No, that can't be true, girl. Like, nobody's algorithm is set up that way. When you pull up Google, okay, let's start from Google. Okay, you pull up Google, you don't see no headlines about yourself. You would have to type your name in to see headlines. You would have to go to a celebrity-oriented website in order to see, etc. You would have to literally go to your Twitter, your Instagram, and check your mentions, etc. All of that good jazz to see that shit. If you want to just watch science videos and learn about music and all of that stuff, you can start from Google and start searching away, and you will not come across these weirdo avatar hating ass individuals that are like lodged into the nooks and crevices, girl, of your fame or of your clout. Okay, it gives me that Lizzo does look, and I think it's unfortunate, because people should be able to look. People should be able to see the love that people are giving them, etc. Without that being interrupted by folk who don't love them. Like, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Like, if you don't like me, why you here? Why you here? Here. You got a right to not like me. You got a right to pop shit. You got a right to have an ugly opinion, etc. But why are you here in my house? Why are you in my house? Okay, you don't like me? Stay over there. Hey, breaking the culture of silence. If you don't like me, stay over there. Why are you here in my house? Is what Lizzo is saying, okay? But once again, you can't regulate that, right? There's no way to regulate whether, who's in your comments, who's subscribing, who's following you, etc. It just once again comes with the territory. So I encourage Lizzo to continue to do her work, come full circle with how she feels, so that she can transmute this negative attention into something positive, and then she can have a positive experience of the trolling. There is one redemptive quality to being trolled, right? If you lean in as an alchemist and you transform that shit, you can find that it helps you to not take yourself so seriously. Like if you do expose yourself to a bunch of negative content about yourself, it can really humble you. It can really kind of like help you to not take yourself so seriously, which can lead to you laughing at the bullshit, being lighthearted about the bullshit. It can help you to not just be as invested because you come to realize it's not that fucking deep and these people are out of their fucking minds, and it can lead to just being hilarious. So do your work, Lizzo. If you find that looking at that shit and seeing that shit is that difficult, boo, then you have to make the next executive decision for your best mental health, which is to stop looking. Don't look. When you see your fans at the concerts, you know that they fuck with you. When you see that they're downloading and streaming your music, that's how you know they fuck with you. When you see your music on the Billboard, that's how you know they fuck with you. When you are booked and goddamn busy and you performing in Indonesia and Africa and the VMAs and the BET Awards and you doing documentaries and you writing books and you know that there's a demand on your life, that's how you're able to know that my people fucking with me, okay? But you don't have to go online and indulge any of the bullshiggity, okay? Because the internet is just not regulated and there's just no way to get around that shit. So I hope that Lizzo just continues to go to therapy, work on her self-esteem, and, you know, if she got to leave the internet, just like, look, Megan Thee Stallion just released a statement saying that she's well, she dating a new man, honey, and she's not doing music anytime soon. She's taking the time to really heal herself. So our mental health is our responsibility. As much as we would like other people to respect the boundaries and respect all of that, ultimately, it's our job to love ourselves. And what we won't do, nobody else will. So she got to just take charge. And she got to stop asking people to help her to feel better. And she just got to pour her resources even deeper into making sure that she's better in her heart and her mind and her damn soul. So there's that when it comes to Miss Lizzo. And stop trolling goddamn people. Leave people a damn long trolls. Y'all are some miserable hoes who really need to be on somebody's couch as well. Okay? Because there's no fucking reason why, if you can't stand a person that much, why you should be in their damn inboxes. If you don't like a bitch, why you in her DMs? If you don't like a bitch, why you in her comment section? If you don't like a bitch, why you following her? Why? You not liking a person does not afford you to go and bother that damn person. Take your delusional ass on to Dr. Phil and deal with that. Deal with that. Moving along. We have, girl, that 70's show going on, girl. This is just so, this put a pit in my stomach because I grew up watching my 70's show in middle school and high school. Y'all, I can't believe it, but I can. But I can't believe it, y'all, but I can. Okay? Danny Masterson from that 70's show has been found guilty, girl, on 2 counts of felony RAPE, girl. Get into this. I'm sure y'all have already heard about it. Courtesy of Variety.com. Danny Masterson, convicted on 2 counts of forcible RAPE, faces 30 years in prison. Danny Masterson, the former star of that 70's show, was convicted Wednesday on 2 counts of forcible RAPE. The jury could not reach a verdict on a 3rd RAPE charge, deadlocking with a vote of 8 out of 4 in favor of conviction. Masterson faces a potential sentence of 30 years to life in prison on the 2 charges. Shortly after the clerk read the guilty verdict, there was an audible gasp from Masterson's family, who were seated in the audience. Masterson was accused of raping 3 women in his Hollywood Hills home between 2001 and 2003. The jury convicted him of raping and 2 women in 2003, but could not reach a verdict on an allegation from November of 2001 involving a former girlfriend. After the verdict was read, Masterson was handcuffed and taken into custody. Judge Charlene Ormandu denied a defense request that he remain free until sentencing. A hearing was set for August the 4th. Masterson's wife, Miss Phillips, was seen sobbing in front row of the audience. One of the victims, known in court as Jane Doe 2, issued a statement expressing relief that Masterson was convicted. She also referred to a pending civil case in which she and the other accusers have sued Masterson and the Church of Scientology for harassment and stalking. Quote, I am expressing a complex array of emotions: relief, exhaustion, strength, sadness, knowing that my abuser, Danny Masterson, will face accountability for his criminal behavior, she said. I am disappointed that he was not convicted on all counts, but take great solace in the fact that he, the Church of Scientology, and others will have to fully account for their abhorrent actions in civil court. Masterson's former girlfriend, Jane Doe 3, said in a statement that she was devastated that he had dodged criminal accountability for his heinous conduct against me. She said she was determined to seek justice in civil court, where she and 3 women will shine a light on how Scientology and other conspirators enabled and sought to cover up Masterson's monstrous behavior. Los Angeles DA George Gaskin thanked the jury for his service and praised the women for coming forward. Their courage and strength has been inspirational to us all, he said. While we are disappointed that the jury did not convict on all counts, we respect their decision. Masterson's first trial ended in November with a hung jury, with the majority voting to acquit on all 3 charges. The case has shined a light on the teachings of Scientology, of which Masterson is a lifelong member. All 3 alleged victims were members at the time of the alleged assaults and have since left the church. They have also said that the church dissuaded them from reporting Masterson. A prominent church member thanks to his acting success to the police. In closing arguments, prosecutor Ariel Anson argued that Masterson had taken advantage of his position as an upstart in the church to RAPE the victims without fear of repercussions. Quote, like all predators, the defendant carefully sought out his prey, Anson argued. The church taught his victims that RAPE isn't RAPE, that you caused this, and above all, you aren't allowed to go to law enforcement. What better hunting ground? In Scientology, the defendant is a celebrity, and he's untouchable. Defense attorney Philip Cohen argued that the prosecution invoked Scientology as a way to distract from inconsistencies in the victim's testimony. Quote, why have we heard so much about Scientology, Cohen asked. Could it be that there's problems otherwise with the government's case? Scientology was also a prominent feature in the first trial. The major difference between the 2 trials related to the allegation of drugging. In the first trial, the women testified that they felt weak or woozy and had little memory after taking a drink prepared by Masterson. But prosecutors did not overtly claim that Masterson had put something in the drink to disable the women. In the retrial, the prosecution changed course, arguing that Masterson had in fact drugged the women. They were all drugged, Anderson argued. The defendant drugs his victims to be in control. He does this to take away these victims' ability to consent. This is not about consent. This is not about the defendant misunderstanding these victims' signals. When he drugs them, he's able to completely physically control them. You don't want to have sex. Question mark. You don't have a choice. The defendant makes the choice for these victims, and he does it over and over and over again. Cohen countered that there is no evidence, such as toxicology report, that would substantiate the drugging allegation. He also noted that there was no reference to drugs in the actual charges. Quote, This is not a drugging case, Cohen said. There is no tangible evidence of it. One of the women reported Masterson to the LAPD in 2004, but prosecutors opted not to file charges. The case was revived in 2016 after the three women found each other and went to the law enforcement together. Prosecutors were able to file the charge under a one-strike sex crimes law that extends the statute of limitations for multiple forcible RAPES. Cohen argued that the women had tweaked their stories to fit a narrative of RAPE after meeting each other and discussing the case. Quote, a woman has no absolute right to say no, Cohen argued. But when no comes 16, 17 years later, that's a very, very scary scenario. Girl, Madison got it going on, girl. As you guys see here, allegedly this celebrity who already has social capital hid himself under the religion of Scientology, which has a long history of abuse, a long history of scandal and cover-ups. You guys know the whole Tom Cruise situation and Katie Holmes situation. She was allegedly stalked as well. There was a big documentary on Scientology done, put on Netflix, on YouTube, etc. As it relates to all of these claims and this history of abuse and sexual abuse and exploitation, etc. Then allegedly, girl, under Scientology, their leaders really can get away with murder, essentially. There's no check and balances. As you guys see here, any of the victims are made to believe that they themselves manifested, invited this behavior or this manifestation, and he was getting his Bill Cosby on, child. Okay, he was quaalude the girls allegedly, but they couldn't prove it because there was no toxicology test that could substantiate any of those particular allegations. Okay, and then on the other side, his attorney is arguing that this is all a sham and these witnesses are trying to shake down his client and that they've all tweaked their stories to fit a narrative, which, to be honest, I don't fucking blame. I don't blame the fucking tweaking because I think it's completely horrendous and just diabolical and devastating that some of these women reported this man as early as 2004, okay? And their cases were thrown to the ground. Prosecutors decided they were not going to pursue or press charges. It wasn't until 2016 where they all galvanized their Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and came in together as Destiny's Child that then they were able to get something done. And this is why a lot of people don't even bother with the criminal justice system. This is why a lot of people take matters into their own hands. This type of raggediness can also lead to people lying just to get something done. Like, yeah, people will tweak their fucking story to get fucking justice. Like, it's wild. And these are mayonnaise women in this case. These are white women in this case. Okay, so it really goes to show you how much power a white man holds in the system. Okay, white women have more privilege relative to black women, but they don't have as much privilege relative to white men. But a jury did sound off. He's facing up to 30 years to life in prison. I think that's justifiable. He allegedly intentionally drugged these women, took their right to consent, traumatized them for the rest of their life, hid under Scientology to double down on the trauma of these women. Absolutely ridiculous. But I want to say this. This issue of, I know that not only men commit sexual assault, I know that women commit sexual assault as well, but sexual assault is largely committed by men. There needs to be, when is the documentary and the accountability and the true inspection into patriarchy going to happen to really deal with why men feel entitled to woman's body. Because this is a software system that is the result of socialization. And there needs to be an indictment against society, against patriarchy, as it relates to this very apathetic attitude that men have toward women as it relates to consent, as it relates to sexuality, as it relates to all of these things. And this harassment is found in almost every area of life where there's men, whether it's the casting couch, whether it is corporate America harassment, whether it is just street harassment, whether it is etc. It's just an ongoing issue. And I feel like dealing with the issue per man found guilty of such is not also taking care of the issue. Because there's a larger reason for why men in general have this attitude. The superficial, invasive, and violent attitude toward woman under the umbrella of sexuality. And if we don't deal with that, we're just wasting time allowing the system to produce more sexually deviant ass motherfuckers who are going to go out and physically violate women in the droves while we're prosecuting one man at a damn time. Yeah, we got to do that, but we got to address the root. Because if we're not addressing the root, women are going to have to continue to keep butcher knives, tasers, guns, bullets, swords, flamethrowers, and everything else on their persons just to make it back home alive from common errands like running to the bank or running to the grocery store or coming out of a building, etc. Not addressing the root is continuing to aid and abet in women having to exist in this vulnerability amongst these predators, amongst men who have been socially engineered to lean into predatory behavior. And there needs to be a larger conversation on the largest level about that. Teaching men and entitling men to sexual conquest, that they're defined by their loins, they're defined by their balls, they are defined by being a damn rolling stone, and that their equity comes from how good they can be at manipulating women, how good they can be at capturing women, how good they can be at bagging women by any means necessary, even if it means taking it from a woman. That's the real terrible social programming that needs to be absolutely raptured and rebuked out of society. You have so many underreported as sexual abuse right now. Think about how many women haven't even reported their abusers or their cases. And if white women are being underserved, then you guys already know. We done read and referred to studies about just how much resources and interest is taking when Black women are subjected to this abuse. I'm afraid and I fear for women as this country continues to back down and reject a conversation around patriarchal programming in men. And that patriarchal programming doesn't just impact men, it also grooms women. Because it, just like in the case of Danny Masterson and Scientology, that patriarchal programming convinces women too that, in general, that they are at fault some way, somehow for what happened to them, which is why you hear the criticisms of, well, what was she wearing? Well, she shouldn't have been wearing that, and she shouldn't have been there, and she shouldn't have did this, and she shouldn't have been flirty, and she shouldn't have had a bosom out, and she shouldn't have had a Daisy Dukes out, and she shouldn't. All of that is a part of the patriarchal grooming process. It grooms the abusers to do as thou will, and it grooms the victims to see themselves as the ones who ask for it, so nobody really, in fact, abused them. Hold on. Oh, what's going on? Draco, bro, I thought this was Sherelle's channel from the thumbnail. Who the hell is Sherelle? Okay, anyway. Oh, you talking about my boo Sherelle's World? Okay, you can see that it's not. So, I think that it's time that I think women and the allies of women's and women's community is going to, and that includes men who believe in the liberation and the ascension of women in this patriarchal system. We're going to have to come together and apply some real fucking pressure to the government, to community, for accountability, for a deeper dive into this issue that a lot of men are subjected to, boys are subjected to. This RAPE culture is in hip hop as well. Taking it from women, drugging women, putting Spanish flies and they drink, etc. I've heard this type of shit in Lil Wayne music. I've heard this type of shit in Rick Ross music. I've heard the conversations in the culture growing up by men, barbershop conversation, locker room conversation. You even got cops who are sexually exploiting. I just read about a cop who was arrested because he RAPE'd a sex worker in the patrol car. In the patrol car. Think about that. A man who has pledged an allegiance to uphold the law, to protect to protect victims from those who violate the law, breaks the law. There's something deeper in the buttermilk than just the assault itself. This patriarchal system is largely still patriarchal, and there's still this incentive, this signal going out to men at the earliest of ages that this behavior is ultimately okay. And this is why we put our fucking foot on patriarchy like we do. We do not expect the people who benefit from patriarchy to do that because they romanticize it because they benefit from it. Male privilege benefits from it. But anybody who can look at the data and look at the history can know that there's a lot of things that are wrong as it relates to male consciousness being the status quo of the Western world. So I'm glad that this fool is being held accountable for the abuse he perpetuated against women. He used his power. He used the manipulation of religion. This is not the role of religion. This is not the role of these spiritual paths. But as you guys can see, it's a cesspool for narcissists. It's a cesspool for abusers as well. And religion largely appeals to people who are confused in some way, who are dealing with trauma, who have an identity crisis. And so it's very easy to find people who are vulnerable and to be taken advantage of when it comes to any one religion. And religion is also something that's largely not regulated, just like the internet. There's no particular application. There's no particular process. You can just resurrect the church. You can resurrect the temple. You can occupy a position. Goddess says that a detective in Philly was just arrested for assaulting and unaliving victims' relatives. Imagine grieving about your relative and a detective on the case assaults you. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's literally unimaginable. It's so mind warping. It's so diabolical and illogical and just sunk in place. It's insane. Lena says a cop here in Indiana got fired for raping and when he knew no one would believe the women. I just saw, I think I told y'all about this a few days ago. A black male, a therapist, is facing sexual assault charges because he was manipulating his female clientele, making them engage in sexual intercourse, fellatio, etc., exploiting his female clients. Multiple women been subjected to sexual exploitation of a man who was supposed to help them to cure up their mental health. And that's why I say, like, this patriarchal model is in every area of life. So you will find male doctors who are molesting, etc., their female clients when they're examining them. I mean, it's wherever there's men, there's going to be this patriarchal software. And I'm not saying all men, but there needs to be a conversation at the highest level regarding patriarchy in men, because if we don't, once again, get to it, there's going to be a continual issue, and there's going to be more victims than we can build jail cells for the perpetrators of. By not addressing the issue, there are families continuing to raise little boys under this patriarchal umbrella, allow the culture to groom them to be predators, etc., and more females, more women is on the line as a result. As a result, the system is dealing with each individual player who happens to be reported and found guilty, but isn't dealing with the root cause. So it's time for some fucking pushback, okay? But shout out to the women who got Mr. Danny Masterson behind bars, and now he'll be subjected to Big Dick Derek as a result. Okay. Last but not least, I want to talk about Caresha Pleaseee. Because Caresha, please, girl. Like, I'm trying, y'all. Let me pull up Miss Young Miami, girl. 305, big booty with a bit on fire, period. Let me pull up Miss Period, girl. I got, oh my God, girl. Miss Period. So, little secret. I am a huge fan of Black China, aka Angela White. When Angela White first stepped on the scene, she was just another like socialite. I didn't really think much of her, but it wasn't until I watched her reality show on Zeus Network and I absolutely fell in love with her. And then I've been kind of following her and looking at her journey ever since. I'm loving the individual that Angela is becoming. She's on a self-discovery journey. She got baptized last year. She removed her tattoos. She removed all this foreign shit out of her body, and she's just been kind of restructuring her life, going to church more, and just actually saying the name Jesus, girl. You know, the celebrities, especially when they are a part of the system, girl, they can't identify their God specifically. So you don't hear a lot of them, even when they're thanking God, they use the general term God. They don't get to say Jesus or specify who or whatever, and that's in contract. However, Miss Angela White, girl, I watched Caresha Pleaseee last night because Angela, Miss Black China, was featured on an episode. And I was like, oh my God, let me tune in. You know, I've been watching like all of Angela's interviews. Girl, this interview between Caresha and Angela, aka Black China, was so fucking awkward and so damn like weird, and there was like no chemistry, no flow, and it was largely due to the way that Caresha conducted the interview. Like, she was just very like choppy, and she didn't like complete sentences or like expound or even like respond with her own thoughts when you thought she would. She just kind of like jumped into the next question, and then the questions were not even like lined up properly. So it went from like dick sucking and do you spit or swallow to how's your mama doing? From how your mama doing to yeah, I heard you got all that shit took out your ass. It was just like, it was so like, girl, like it was like the music was arranged in this weird ass way, and it did not create no type of ebb and flow. And the thing about Caresha is like, I have tried to really watch her because, girl, I stand for Black women and I want them to win and get their bag and just make it do what it do, girl. You know, but with Caresha, it's just not given. Like, it's just not given. And it's like I'm trying to make it give. I want it to give so bad. I'm trying to like just give it its round, but Caresha is terrible at this. And that was exacerbated during her interview with Kevin Gates, who's already like, that conversation was so sexual and so explicit and vulgar, and you could, it was so obvious that like Caresha did not have range. So like, because she lacks personality and she lacks substance, she was only able to like stick to ultimately what she knows best when all else fails, which is sex talk. Kevin Gates already going to do the most, and then he's sitting in front of a woman, which makes him as a man an idiot because he's already willing to reduce the conversation to some sexual shit anyway, just as a fucking man, a low vibrational one who is always going to be with the shits when it comes to women. So he already was going to come to the table with no incentive to necessarily make the conversation deep, especially if Caresha was going to entertain all of the sexual shit, which is what is easy. It what comes as easy to the both of them. So, in trying to watch Caresha Please, every time I find myself looking, I'm just like, Caresha Please with this. Girl, Young Miami, please. Like, please, just, girl, it's all, I feel like Caresha Please makes Young Miami look dumb. I don't know if she is dumb, but like, it makes her come off as a bimbo and just stupid, and it's hard to watch because she's like pretty and she is successful in her own right, and you just I go in like, okay, this is a bad bitch CEO, boss bitch, etc. Like, but then she opens her mouth, it's like there's almost not anything there. Yeah, and that's the thing, Elite. It's the #1 podcast, but I ain't talking about what is given to others. I'm talking about what is motherfucking given to me. And it's not given. I'm very clear about the fact that we live in a watered down, mediocre, microwavable ass fucking society that's going to prompt anything up as #1. Donald Trump was also #1 in the country as the president. So what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? You act like you talking to a bitch who actually believes that this particular system prompts people up because they're actually qualified. We live in a fucking system where the most unqualified of fucking people can occupy some of the most significant and important motherfucking roles there is in this system. So I don't give a fuck about whether it's number one for everybody else. It ain't number one for me. But people like her and Trump and all these other people who really don't contribute or move the culture in any significant way live in a space and exist amongst the people that's going to allow them to be where they are. Because the people ain't no better than the motherfuckers who they propped up as their leaders. The 70's show was also once number fucking one and now being ran down on for sexual assault. So the fuck what? So the fuck what that is number one? So the fuck what that is number one? George Bush, who's a goddamn D+ student, was propped up as a whole fucking president in this fucking country. And wrong ass people in right ass positions is the way of the country. So I don't give a damn about whether it's number fucking one. Caresha Pleaseee is mediocre as hell, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna accept it. Because white people have been allowed to be mediocre as fuck in this system and get to the absolute bag and get to the absolute number one spot. White women have allowed to be mediocre as hell and be championed behind and be fully rewarded. So that's why I struggle with Caresha, because on a personal level, it's like, it gotta be more. It gotta be more. It gotta be more. But I'm gonna give her click at her view any fucking way. I'm gonna push through any fucking way. I'm gonna watch any fucking way, because at the end of the day, Black women deserve the right to do half the work and be fully rewarded too, if that's the way that this country has treated white women and white men. So go ahead, mediocre Black woman, honey. Do your big one, honey. Go ahead, mediocre Black woman, honey. Do half the work and get to the full bag, baby. Okay? Like, I have struggled with this thing when it comes to Caresha. I have struggled, girl. Hey, Katie. You know, as Black people, we always want more to our people personally. But when it comes to like the larger system, I'm also like happy in a way for Caresha, because I'm just like, child, like, just let this Black woman like just look pretty and get to her million. Because white women damn sure have done so. Damn sure have done so. Damn sure. There are mediocre ass white women who have 1 million subscribers, 2, 3, 5, 6 million subscribers. I'm just be like, girl, how? Why? How? Why? Why are you here? Girl, I know content creators in the beef sector, bitch, who got more pizzazz, who more interesting, who have better production, who are more versatile, entertaining, more charismatic, and then you just get to sit here with your middle part and just be as Karen as you want to be. You just get to be as blah as you fucking want to be, girl. You ain't got to put on no eyelashes, girl. You ain't got to do no makeup. You get to look as homely and as normal, and you get to be as basic as you want to be, child. And just be up here amongst the goddamn elite. So, to see Caresha, I was just like, girl, I have my personal critiques, but I'm not going to not support Caresha just because I understand the type of code we gotta be on. So as long as Revolt got her motherfucking ass up there, whether I think she's good or not, bitch, I'm gonna give her my motherfucking click and a view. I'm gonna give her my click and a view and a thumbs up because I understand the assignment. I understand that we are leveling the playing field, girl. So I'm not gonna let my personal critiques make me not support her at the end of the day. But just because I'm supporting her don't mean that I ain't got my personal critiques. Because I'm just like, girl, it's really not given. Because that conversation with Black China could have went so deep. It could have been so much deeper than that. Just like the conversation with Kevin Gates, and so many other people that are sitting down with Caresha. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she need to look at Jason Lee. Like, Jason Lee knows how to kind of like get in there with his fork and his spoon. Like, when he's interviewing people, like, she needs to be kind of like just really carving herself out instead of just relying on just like the easiness of it all without any interest in like going to medium mode or going to hard mode. Like, it's okay. You need to like step it up. And I wasn't the only person. Let me prove to you that I'm not the only person. I ain't the only bitch. I'm not the only bitch who feel like this. The comment sections were echoing the same motherfucking thing. Hold on. Let me pull up Caresha, please. Hold on. Caresha. Where's Black China interview? 13 days ago, already at 1.7 million views. Okay. Hold on. Let me share my undies piece of page. Yeah. Hold on. Ooh. All right, let me take her down. Let me pull up this comment section. Let me pull up this comment section. Hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm coming. Thumbs up the video. You guys, thumbs up, up, up until it is stuck. I'm coming. Hold on. Hold on. Cause I'm ready. And I want it. I'm about to pull up this comment section, chat. All right. All right. So here it is, girl. Okay. Some people are showing love, girl. I love this. I love seeing Caresha, etc. You're doing amazing. Honorary degree. Let's scroll down, girl. Okay, you got this person who says the questions were gross. Okay, you know, Caresha Pleaseee, girl, you know, she gonna sexualize a situation, child. This person named Candace says, Caresha be cracking me up when she just leaves long silences and wait for the guests to react and stop playing. Somebody named The Rap Gang said the driest interview. Somebody else said this show is comfortable for celebs that want to clear the air. Somebody else named April says Caresha sounds so uneducated. Somebody said, I love China and love the interview. I think this is the comment I was looking for. This person in social work says Caresha's vibe in this interview came off as a little catty. and she didn't like China or Angela. I felt China had to put an extra effort in this interview as the interview was off. And it was off. It was like just a disconnect. The person underneath that said exactly, I ain't stupid. Caresha was mad because she mentioned Diddy name after he gave her a warm embrace before the interview. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, somebody else named Alala Fitness says awkward. The person under that says snooze fest. Caresha is for the fun and lighthearted. Take the serious shit to Dr. Fit. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people, girl, you know, it wasn't hitting for a lot of people. A lot of people saw the disconnect. I went in the comments. I was like, maybe it's just me, girl. Like maybe I'm just too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too something, girl. Let me see what it gives, girl. So then I was like, oh no, there's people here who see what I see. So okay, I'm not the only motherfucking one. Let me read some of these comments before I get up out of here. She's like a doll, dusty. That's what she is, like a porcelain doll. It's like she's a porcelain doll that's programmed to speak, but she only has like limited words programmed into her. So it ends up being like a merry-go-round. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Justin says, I mean, maybe it was just a bad match demographically for where Angela is trying to move. Then why sit down with her? Like, if you know you're about to talk to somebody about the Baphomet and spirituality and their journey and the trauma and hardship that they experiencing with their ghetto ass mama, but you know you ain't really got a lot. I mean, you can't really go there because you ain't got the substance like that to go there. Then it ain't no excuse. Like stay in your lane. Then because they got choices here, child. Okay, so to be going from all of that to do you spit or swallow? Do you like your doggy a missionary? Like we already know the answer to this question anyway because like Black China persona is like sexual, so it's like those were not questions people would have put on a docket. Like she's coming away from all of that, like because that's been a big part of her brand is like big booty, big titty, raunchy, sexual, blah blah blah, club stripping, boom boom boom. Like Caresha nor the executives just had the range, and it's just disappointing. Yes, spit or swallow, child. Do they still make those dolls with the string in the back? Probably not. Everything's probably digital by now. Justin says there are probably photos of all of that. There is. I mean, like Black China whole career has been at spit or swallow. She's had a spit or swallow career. So it's just like, why are we talking about that? Like as if we're just being introduced to Angela White, aka Black China. Like we're now trying to be introduced to the woman who's coming out of that. There were so many questions she could have laid down. Like they could have really got into the spiritual conversation and how her life has changed and why, like what exactly has changed and where does the brand and the new Angela kind of fit in together and what is Angela's idea of God? Does she feel like her spiritual journey will hinder her work in Hollywood, which is very secular and really anti-God? It like, girl, this could have went on, like, Angela's trying to now be liked for who she is. So how does that show up in like if Caresha wanted to go the raunchy route, this is how she could have did it. Like in this interim of like Black China transitioning into Angela, like, well, girl, like how is your sex game? Like girl, how your sex game is going to be now? Like as you are like kind of on this God, church, meditation, lifestyle, like will you be spitting and swallowing off back, or has you getting closer to God made you wanna like these men have to actually like really work for it a lot harder now, and you spit and swallow like as a result of falling in love or engaged. But like it just could have been so better framed. I didn't know whether we were talking to Black China or Angela because of the way that Caresha narrated and framed the interview. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Like I didn't know, girl. Like it was a mess. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Like it was so much potential in the conversation, and it just didn't get had. You can't tell me Caresha didn't know that what she was doing, she did that on purpose. She wanted her to feel awkward. Caresha was convinced to do the interview for ratings, but she knew because okay, so what's the situation with Diddy and Caresha and Black China? Fill me in, because I don't understand the issue or the correlation. Like explain to me, Andrea, like what's going on with Caresha and Angela and Diddy. That would have been a great. It's not hard, Justin. Like it's not hard. It's like this is so easy, which is why I don't know how they fail and suck at it so bad. Like, I don't know how these networks fail at it. I don't know how these executive producers fail at it. It's like this is not difficult. But now I'm just assuming that all these networks are just have hired all the most shallow, surface existing people to make up the company, and that's why there is no range or no diversity of the portfolio. But it's really not that difficult. I've heard for years that Angela used to. Okay, what? Okay, let's check into that actually. Then I've heard for years that Angela. Okay, Black China and Diddy. I didn't even know that there was such thing. I'm just looking through to see if I can find anything on Black China and Diddy at all. P. Diddy's girlfriend, Emmy. Black China. I'm not really finding anything, but I'll really do a deep dive and look into the rumors allegedly behind Black China and Diddy. I'm looking. Black China base complete history. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything, but hey, it's a lot that goes on. Caresha needs to stop because she wants P. Diddy's baby. Instead, he gave a baby to Asian. An honest critique, and she intentionally flopped the interview to be shady over Diddy. Yikes. That's what it came off as. Like, Caresha did not necessarily appear to be that interested. She kind of like sped through. It was like it was speed dating. It was like she was just like, okay, like she was just answering the questions, and that's why like every new question was like discombobulated. It didn't make sense. There was no like real run-ups, and then it was just the way the questions were being asked was kind of like really shady. She was like, yeah, so like about your mom being on crack on drugs. Is she on drugs? Like it was like I don't. It was just weird, girl. It was just not the best. It wasn't the best. Every Caresha Pleaseee interview I've heard, once again, like the interviews that do well, like one of the commenters said underneath the interview, is when she's like when it's another Caresha in the room. So like of course her and Megan Thee Stallion's conversation with Well, of course her and Sweetie's conversation with Well, because they were able to like kind of stay on a hot girl frequency and kind of stay on that like flirty, girly, niggas, men's, breakups, fuck these niggas, we ball a bitches ass conversation. Like when the conversation is like capped there, then it works, it flows, girl. But when Caresha got to be Martha Stewart, when Caresha has to be Oprah, girl, when she got to be Ricky Lake, Yeah, it's enough. Not Burnt Gap Girl. I'm screaming. Her interview with Summer Walker was all that. Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, no depth or relatability beyond looks. If she has Tokyo on after this, it was, you know, to be honest, shit. What really drove the conversation, hell, is I wish Angela would have brought her mama on because her and her mama did see each other, I think, after Mother's Day or before Mother's Day or whatever. So they seem to be on okay terms right now. And obviously this interview was also shot before this recent meetup between Angela and her mama, etc. Because when Caresha asked her when was the last time she had spoke to her, she was like, yeah, like a while ago. So that told me that this interview happened sometime back, way before Angela had ran up. Or Tokyo had ran up on her mama. But child, that would have been one hell of an interview, baby. Like Tokyo, she could have carried the entire interview, honey. Okay, she would have been interviewing Caresha ass, child. So yeah, maybe the approach was off. I thought for her to open up about her mom was deep. It was really deep, and then it was like the questions about Rob. She was like, "Yeah, girl, I feel like you like." And I was like, she was telling Black China what her reality was. Like, she was like, "Yeah, because I felt like you dating Rob was you getting your lick back from a Tiger dating a Kylie, etc." And Black China like, "No." And she was like, "No, I felt like it was you getting your lick back." Girl, she just told you it wasn't a lick back. Shut the hell up. Like, shut the hell up. Like, if you want to say that the culture likes to think that because it was just epic, because of the way that it looked, and people was waiting for somebody to do the Kardashians up one grab, it was amazing. But I've noticed because in Black and Angela White's previous interview, her relationship to Black China, so Rob Kardashian had got brought up, and she was like, "Girl, it wasn't a lit back," and she kind of explained like how everything happened and everything, and she like really pushed against this idea that she got with Rob out of pettiness, and I think she pushed against that because she had real feelings for Rob, and they had a real relationship, and she doesn't want the public to like dull that down on some petty shit. Because that was the man she ultimately like opened her legs to, had her daughter with, and who she really tried to help and love on. And yeah, she's not with the whole I dated him because of Tiger. She just wasn't. You calling her Caresha? I am. Because, I mean, why? Yeah, maybe the first result of I think Megan James want other interviews about Tokyo. Okay, I thought that interview went great. I've been hearing things about how like Megan and Tokyo are beefing, but I watched the podcast. I was like, what? They seem to have got along. Megan seemed to have enjoyed Tokyo's over the top ass personality. Tokyo was flirting and thought Megan was pretty, and they got into some things. Miss Tokyo. So Miss Tokyo. Like, so what was the drama of that? Tokyo was talking shit about Caresha and Diddy and real life street stars. But what they got to do with Angela? She was trying to stir the pot and be messy when Tokyo lied and told people Megan James didn't pay her. That was see, I didn't even follow up after that. I didn't know that. Wow. Tokyo lied and told people Megan James didn't pay her. Wow. The next day, Tokyo said Megan didn't pay her. Was she even supposed to get paid? I don't understand. Because I know that Tokyo was up all night doing her goddamn hair, acting like she was about to do a damn 7-part series on surviving R. Kelly. Just for one gig, girl. She exaggerated the shit out of that, girl. She made it seem like she was starring in a whole damn movie, girl. It was a podcast, Miss Mamas. Why would anyone do an interview without being paid first? Sometimes it works like that in Hollywood, like in the industry. Sometimes most of the time in Hollywood, you get paid afterwards. Your check clears weeks and weeks afterwards. You know, depending on the situation, though, you can get paid up front, but generally you get paid afterwards. Like models get paid after the work. They get paid after shoots, after runways, etc. Extras, dancers, you know, they all get paid afterwards, etc. Making sure receipts that she paid Tokyo. Wow. And Tokyo prides herself on being a real chick and being a boss babe and being just raw. And why would you say that? Why would you say this girl didn't pay you after she gave you a platform? She invited you to her show, put you on at a time where nobody is checking for you or your Motel 6 curtains. And then you're going to just throw her under the bus for what? That is so thirsty, and just, it's also integral. Like, why would you shade somebody's business practice? Like, this somebody who doing business with you, and you putting it out there that she doesn't pay accordingly. Like, that's foul as fuck. And why? Like, why? He's not the only one on the 70s show that's in Scientology. That one that played Donna is also in it, and that's the one that surprised me. I'm about to look into that comment live. Hey Barry, I thought most interviews were unpaid. Most interviews are now. When it comes to like these podcasty situations, maybe they get a little coin because, you know, it's a whole setup, and his hair, his makeup, his lights, his cameras, his actions, etc. Maybe you get some type of honorarium, you know, a little donation. Typically, people do, like in mainstream at least. And mainstream media, no, you do not get paid to come on CNN. You do not get paid to come on Fox News. You do not get paid to come on these interviews. But when it comes to like social media industry, people may pay for interviews because it's just all about, you know, getting that click and that view. And they may use money as a way to get people in to the studio. Look at how she did Storm. I didn't know a lot about that either. I know she went crazy. Tokyo tried to do the same thing to Storm. Wow. Tokyo did that to Storm and Night and Day, and all other YouTubers that interviewed her. She always say people don't pay her. Wow. So she deserves to be exactly where the hell she at then. And rightfully so. If she going to be scandalizing people's names who are, you know, treating her accordingly and just flat out lying on motherfuckers, she deserves to be in that goddamn computer chair in that goddamn hotel room where she at, child. That's a mess. But that concludes this hot topics, girl. I just wanted to come through and get into a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Wow. Okay, hold on. I got another cash app, I think, from Dominique. Hold on. Yeah. I woke up late, so that's why I wasn't in Patreon today. But don't be surprised, Patreon, if I come through tonight. I may come through right after this, actually. So my Patreon members, be looking for your notifications, girl. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dominique, so much, love. Thank you so much for the cash app. Bless you, baby mother. God bless you, bless you, bless you. 20 times over, girl. So I'm going to get out of here, you guys. You guys know all donation information, Patreon, email, all of that shit is in the description box below. I love y'all. Thumbs up the video. Share. Yeah, just keep your notifications on, girl, because I don't have a plan for my shows on the platform. They're kind of like just coming to me as I just wander the internet. So keep your notifications on, baby, okay? Because we might be right back here in 45 minutes. You just never know, okay? I love you all. See you all later. Peace.